Hello, welcome back to Infinite Roleplay Dungeon of the Day. Already have Photoshop loaded, already have the Photoshop file in which we're editing up until this point loaded, and what can we do next? I'm thinking, let's add some sort of cave features and changes in elevation. Now, we're going to do this strictly artistically, with our little penny pen, or you can do it with your mouse if all you have is a mouse, it's fine. We're going to add some rocks. So let's, so what the hell is that? I don't know. Let's add a folder for rocks and rubble, right? Boom! Rocks and rubble. Spelled wrong? I don't care. This is going to the rocks. Oh, rocks. Rock and rubble. Now let's just go map features. Map features. Whatever, there's no R there. Who cares? Let's draw some rocks. Zoom in a little bit. Ah, the brush is enormous. Now, great part of this is that I can zoom in more. Ah, too much. Come on, zoom. You know what? Don't I have a zoom feature on this thing? Yes, I do. Should just be controlling it like that. So, I know you remember when we did our Hatchy Hatch pattern, we incorporated some rocks into the Hatchy Hatch pattern. But we could always use some more and work on the ones that are not showing 100% of the way through, such as that one. And then dropping in some large bouldery rocks and adding some textures, floating around, seeing where we might need a little loving. Be afraid to throw some little dirt splurts. Dirt splurts. That looks a little too, like, whatevers. Throw a little one over here to break up silhouette, you know. I mean, I say silhouette, but it's because it is so obvious that there's a line there. So we want to break up that line so that it looks less evident. Best way to do that is start connecting some of the pre-existing rocks in the texture and throwing in some rocks of our own. Otis McDonald on YouTube. You can get his music. It's freely available under a royalty-free license on the YouTube Music Library. Sometimes people ask me if I make my music or whatnot, and like, where do I get the music? It's from YouTube Library. Just gotta do some searching. They got some awesome tunes. Listen to this sucker. This map making music. You gotta make sure your dungeons have a groove. That's what it is. Get my dungeon groove on. That looks like, yeah, that's a little better. Looked like it was cutting through that one too much. Woo! There we go. That's a little too much in there. Let's see. The facility area is not that bad. This one rocky rock right there. Put another big boulder. This is for your own edification. Player characters will never. Ah! Never really get here unless they want to dig through the soil. you don't want to overdo it with the rocks, really. It's usually not overdone in this style. There's not that many rocks. There's always seems to be just enough, you know? So let's see if I overdid it, or that's just enough. I think that's just enough, right? What do you think? Oh, there's whole sections missing here and there. Let's add some rocks to those sections. They look a bit lonely. Large one right there. Oh, yes. I think that's enough as far as those decorative rocks go. Alright, now what we're going to want to do, so this is mine, right? So you would think that there's rocks peering through and whatnot. So let's make it happen. So you start to dig, excavate here. Maybe there's a few. Don't worry that it's showing through. We're going to add white beneath it all. Adding some rocks to the mine. I mean, this is a little mining area, isn't it? Maybe. I mean, could be. I did the My Private Mine map, but this seems more like an encampment to me, like an actual place where miners really like. That's not a private mine. It's more of a business. Communal mine, you know, maybe there's a foreman in here. You got a foreman, you know, yelling at everybody, "Ah, we gotta meet our quota!" You know. Just throw in some stones up in chairs so they can meet that quota. Without the stones, ain't mine nothing. This is the ore. It's not just stones, not just rock. It's all about the ore. Boom. Alright, just to illustrate where it's going to go, let's add the next layer, but keep it beneath the rocks. And I tend to just call it the whiteout layer, because that's all I'm doing, is that I'm whiting out things. So I'm just going to zoom a little bit closer, so I have a better idea. Select my brush, make sure white is on the paintbrush, and just go in here and just white it out. That way the background doesn't show through on your rocks. The reason I put the rocks in first is because it's like coloring in the lines. Once you have your lines set, it's easier. And against this particular grid, it really stands out. I think I enjoy how much more it stands out on this specific grid, being that the grid has its own hatching and cross-hatching pattern. Yeah, that's nice. Ooh. Look at that. It seems to be working out a bit, doesn't it? Give it one more chance. That's what the dwarves say when they don't meet their quota in the mine. Foreman! Give me one more chance. Didn't make the quota. Oh, I like this. whenever I hear this song by Otis, you know, it really reminds me. I don't know if you, ladies and gents, watch So You Think You Could Dance, but there's this dude goes by the name Fiction. His name is like Deschant something. I forget his last name. But in his audition, there's a song very similar to this. Like, it just feels like it to me. And it makes me remember that. And he kicks ass. Short little dude. A lot of power, a lot of skill. Alright. So yeah, this is pretty much how you add in some of that rocky layer. So you get these rocks rolling. You get these rocks rolling. Yeah, you get the rocks rolling, right? And it's pretty much how it looks. You get a good look at it on your Oh, I forgot some spots. Let's fill up the spots before we continue to BS, right? Okay, let's BS now. As you can see, that's how it's coming together. Those few areas, going back, zooming into the actual pixel size. I think I'm gonna hook up the rocks with a little pseudo shading I've done on the other boulders to add a little bit more depth. Let's do that now before we end this episode, because all this is gonna be from now on is just going in here and doing more of the same. You know, and as anything, as I've said, the more care you take, the better the effects you're gonna get. Oh. I want like pseudo shading. I don't want real shading. Just want things to be hinted at the fact that they're not pebbles and they're jagged a bit. These may not print up depending on your printer. Depending on what type of printer you have. It's maybe a little bit more difficult depending on the resolution you're drawing at. Remember, I'm drawing everything at 300 pixels per inch, which is for some a pretty high resolution. Tax your computer a bit, you know. Just pressing it lightly. It's still, you know, it's still boom. It's just that I'm using a tablet. If you change it to gray scale, you can just, you know, draw on the grays, or if you just change it to a very narrow pixel width, it'd be so narrow that the value will come in looking gray, when in actuality it isn't. And that's because in Photoshop, they have when you zoom in really close, the pixels aren't pixelated, they're blurred. So it automatically puts in a bit of a gray value. I like that, the little weird jaggies with the bigger rocks, man. Oh, I missed one little. Let's get a full screen view. The shading is not quite that evident, but you know, I'm a bit of a stickler sometimes, so I'm just gonna go through and roll them rocks around. So it's really that simple. That's all you have to do. That's the entire technique. My name is Nelson. This has been Infinite Roleplay Dungeon a Day. I'll check you ladies and gents out later. And again, go to the YouTube music library. There's some kick-ass music in there, especially Otis. Oh, Otis McDonald. He's cool. Yeah, check him out. Listen, I'm me. You're you. Peace.